Okay, welcome to the short video review of the 2018 Honda PCX 125. This is a UK model in the pearlescent red colour. Just give you a nice view of the paintwork. A few changes on the what is effectively the Mark IV now, I believe, Honda PCX. It was difficult when I was trying to find information about all of the changes to do with the newer version, and it was actually difficult to find somebody who had done like a UK review from a first rider perspective. So a few things first. It is priced at £2,929 on the road. Honda Finance normally do it on a 0% finance offer as well. 125cc, 4-stroke, single cylinder. Produces about, I think it's about 10 or 11 horsepower, and as a first rider, it's pretty good. All the usual sorts of things. First of all, starting off with the keys, it has a quite a clever locking mechanism. That means that the actual hole is covered, and you use the end of the key that looks like this and pop it in. He says, give it a turn, and that unlocks the keyhole, which means you can release the steering lock, which is that bit there. So obviously usual sort of stuff. If you turn to your next stage, you can release your seat, which I've already done. Just give you a quick view of the seat storage. So it goes all the way up and will stay up on its own. You can comfortably get a full large, or extra large I should say, I think it's like a 62 centimeter helmet that I use. Full helmet in there with a GoPro-y thing on the side sometimes if it's small enough, and then I have like all my waterproof gear at this end, and obviously things like here, this is like my GoPro bag, and plenty of room here to store like locks and things like that when you are on the go. So that's that bit. The other switch obviously is the standard sort of fuel switch. So there's the fuel filler cap, and you just push this and that will flip open like so. Holds about 8 litres. That 8 litres will get you an astonishing distance. You'd be amazed at how far that will get you. If I turn the dash on, see it do its startup sequence. It's a little bit difficult to read, but hopefully you can. Here, my current average is 136.7 miles to the gallon. It's been 193 miles since I filled up, and I've done 523 miles since new. And that's really all been mainly commuting, but a little bit here. I'm here in Bridgnorth today, and it's taken me about 40 minutes to get here on country roads, 60 mile an hour national speed limit roads. Absolutely fine, no issues. That 8 litre tank on average is getting me about 230 to 250 miles, which is pretty good. The mirrors are pretty good, pretty decent. They are fairly solid, they don't vibrate, easy to adjust. And the only difference between the standard PCX really and mine is I've added this official Honda tall windscreen, which you can see reflecting hopefully. But the standard screen basically comes to the top of the sort of dash, I suppose it would be, here. This just adds quite a lot more wind protection. If I sort of sit where I would be sat on the bike, you can see that it is quite a nice sheltered little bit here, and my head would normally be sort of there, and that kind of helps a lot. Over on the back of the bike, this panel, when you take it off, you have mounts here ready for a top box using the Honda mounting plate, so that's really useful. Usual sort of stuff. Pillion pegs just fold out there. Because I'm on CVT, I can't take a pillion anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me, but I'm sure that's important. And underneath here, there's some quite sizable grab handles as well if people have a pillion passenger. Other things to note that are really useful, in this bit here, just to the left of the dash, there is a fold out cubby hole, and there's a 12-volt power socket in there as well that you can see. So that's really useful. In terms of tyres and brakes, it's probably one of the things that sold this bike to me, because it's quite a competent bike for a learner. You'll notice that it has standard shock absorbers on the front, but it has ABS on the front brake, which is hugely beneficial as a learner in case I panic and just grab the handles. Back brake, just a standard drum brake on the back, but to be honest, I've never found it needing to stop. I mean, it's only about 125 kilos, so it's absolutely fine. In terms of styling, I think it looks pretty cool. All LED lights the whole way around. Probably a little bit difficult to see in the sunlight, but really good. LED lights. You have a trip computer with mileometer. Obviously all usual sorts of stuff, so you can see the hazards there. Standard sort of Honda switchgear, sort of daytime running lights and high beam, horn, and the turn signal indicators. One thing that helps this get the good miles per gallon as well is the idle stop system, which come round, it's a bit reflecty. The idle stop system here, on here, you can either have it so it continually runs on idling, and that basically means that it will never ever turn off, or you can have it on idle stop, and what that basically means is a little bit like a modern car start-stop technology. If you stop at a set of traffic lights and you're not using the throttle, then after 3 seconds the engine will cut out. So let's just have a look at the lights, see what they look like when they're on. So we can see pretty bright lights and pretty good side visibility. If I come around the side here, they come right up to the side, so you can see them on the side as well. And the rear light as well, also LED, so really useful. So we can see that there. So really bright, really useful. And I've rode it at night in the rain actually, and it was really competent. Tyres are really good, they're Michelin City grips, so really good. I can't actually remember the size, but what are we at here? 100/80 14s, and the rear one is a slightly different size, but really easy to ride, not very intimidating, just really confidence inspiring. Usual sort of thing that you have on scooters. No foot brake, both handles are brakes, so if you can ride a bike, pretty much ride a scooter. And it has combined braking, so if you pull the rear brake, it will also brake on the front slightly at the same time, and if you pull the front brake, it also applies the rear brake at the same time. So really useful. Lots and lots of storage, like I say. An addition of a top box is probably next. It is pretty quiet, so let's try and start it up and see how it sounds. Okay, so to start the bike, obviously pull the rear brake and push the ignition start, which is just over here. No kill switch on this, due to the fact that we have idling stop and a hazard button. So pretty quiet, idles pretty nicely, doesn't make a huge amount of noise, and like I say, if we give it some revs, got quite a throaty sound to it, but nothing intrusive. So in terms of other features, it is really clear on the dashboard. I'm sure the dash, although I haven't bothered because I work in miles per gallon, the dash can be put into miles per litre, so for European measurement, and there's plenty of adjustment. I am, for reference, 6'4" and about a bit over 15 stone. Let's leave it at that. And I max out at about 73 miles an hour on a good day, but it will comfortably cruise at 60-65 without a problem. So like I say, really economical, really cheap to run, really comfortable. The rear shock absorbers are new for the 2018 model, or rear springs I should say. They're triple rate, so they have 3 different stiffnesses. You can see the bigger one, the middle one, and the very tight one, and that helps with ride as you go over bumps and stuff like that, which it handles really well. So I hope this is of use to anyone that's considering a Honda PCX, and stay tuned if you want to see more videos.